Good evening. This is Papa at Myshire Farm, Builder Things. And as we promised tonight, we're going to build a feeder. I'm going to attempt to build a feeder, and I built this one just an hour or so ago, without any of the tools that I would normally use to try to do, so you can build this, you too can build this at home. But I did want to show you a few things that we did today. We made a video on our new lockdown. And this is a new deal. Broke it all down, put it all back together for you. We got a little issue with parameters on our controller that we haven't messed with. We'd like to see our humidity a little higher. We talked about that, how we were going to achieve that. Also today, I made a water pond fountain from a septic pump. And the guy that I stole this off of YouTube, he made one just like this, but he used a lathe to make the sprayer outer. And I do have a lathe, but I wanted to try to build it so anyone could build it with simple tools. And I was able to do that. Works great on land. Hopefully it will work good in the water, submerged. And we can I'll make a little video on how to do that. Maybe we can even give away one of these cylinders, because that's all you need. Just stick it in and good to go. Also, we made these 6 puppies here today that are for our Bible class at our church, which my wife teaches that class. So she keeps me busy making things. So I've had a busy day, I'm tired, and here we are building a feeder for you all.
Well, Justin says he's in Louisiana and he is excited to watch. And Small Wooden Boats said that they were our 4,000th subscriber on YouTube yesterday. So we just hit 4,000.
How about that?
How about that?
So you're going to need some tools. Like you're going to need a square, top rivets, top rivet gun, some cutters, some kind of hammer. It's a fancy hammer, but any hammer will do. And a drill with an 1/8" drill bit, if you're using 1/8" things. So everyone wants to ask me, what size gauge do I use? I don't know gauges, but I do have a mic. This that I'm measuring here is flashing that you can buy anywhere. It's 20 thousandths. Stuff we'll be using tonight is like 25 thousandths. And the stuff that I normally would have made this out of is like 65 thousandths. So, having built one, I was able to find some errors of my way using thinner stuff and pop rivets, because normally I would weld this, and it wasn't an issue, but since we're not welding it, it'd be nice to have a flap here that we could pop rivet together, and a little hangover here that we could pop rivet together, and this I think is going to be fine. So I made some modifications to my pattern, and hopefully it'll work out. What did I want to show you? Oh yeah.
Hey John, good evening. Good.
We talked about this last time, about what do you do when you're wasting so much stuff. This feeder that we're making is not a brooder feeder. This feeder is for layers or growing out. Hence whence it's a little deeper here. The one that we have for our brooders are maybe only 3/4 of an inch tall and quite a bit bigger, because that's what Zach wanted. But this one's a little taller, and the concept here is this bottom of this thing only is about 3/4 of an inch away from the bottom. The side here goes down to within 3/4. So as they peck this out, they have a hard time filling this thing up completely. And now, if you have a wooden cage or a cage, whatever you got, you would want maybe more space here. You certainly wouldn't want any less. This one here is a little bit bigger, as you see. But when we found out that they were wasting so much, what I did was made this out of the 1x2 wire, and it keeps them, you know, from flinging the stuff side to side, and it worked pretty good. Certainly worth doing. So the combination of this higher, and we not needed to put this on when it was this high, but yeah. So we talked about that last week, and there's a picture of it. I think I said I would show you. So that's that. This gauge here is about in between the two. Again, what gauge do I use? The stuff that I can find the cheapest. So, because even the flashing is going to work. And, you know, you could, if you were doing flashing, you might want to make that a little longer and fold that over so you don't have so sharp an edge there. It'd stiffen that up considerably. Maybe you'd want to do this also, fold it down so, you know, the birds don't have a sharp edge there. And that would mean that you're just simply making this a little bit longer so that you can fold it. So anyhow, let's get started. These are patterns that I made and have made over a couple of years, 3 or so years we've been doing this. And it's just made out of a piece of aluminum. It does take a little bit of fingering how to make a pattern. I suppose we could make patterns available, but as I get older, spend all this time doing it, I hate to just give them away. So yeah, but we are planning on giving the feeder that we built tonight, away. So we're going to have some kind of raffle that we'll do, and we'll post tomorrow when we post what the topic is next Sunday. And next Sunday we'll be here again at the God Awful Hour, 7 o'clock. So I'm going to take a scratch all.
Before he starts, the only thing you need to do to enter the drawing is just either ask a question or let us know that you're here, and then we'll write down all the names, and then we'll do a raffle tonight, and then I'll mention the winner tomorrow.
Great. So we'll take a little something. You can use a pencil or even a magic marker. I like to use a scratch awl because it leaves a nice definite mark. This is where I'm doing that modification where I have a little lap that I can then put a pop rivet in. This here's another modification I'm making here, making this longer so it will fold over. Now I gotta do is remember to cut them on the right lines, and everything will be hunky-dory. All right, so that's that pattern. This is, of course, the most complicated one we got. So, you know, it comes with tools. Papa says the only thing more expensive than needing a tool and not having it is having a tool and not using it. So, and I know we got a lot of Buy American stuff going on right now, and I like to do that. But this is an Arbor Freight machine. It's very inexpensive. I should have looked it up to tell you how much it was. But it's, again, if you need it and don't have it, you're paying for it whether you own it or not. So you might as well own it.
We got a question. How much feed does the feeder hold? How often do you fill it?
Well, that would, how much does it hold? About that much. So I don't, how much does that hold?
It can hold quite a bit. If you're doing scoops, you can pretty much put about 8 scoops in. However, we've learned the hard way because Papa told me a million times and I never listened. But typically, you really just want to fill it up to about here.
You want to fill it up as much as they're gonna eat in between times that you're gonna feed them.
Right.
So if you're gonna feed them, you know, once a day, then you might wanna feed them more, but if you're gonna feed them twice a day, as we do, then just feed them enough, because if you could put, you know, you could fill this thing up and you might say, well, why make it so big? And that would be a fair question. It's just that when we started this thing, we didn't know how much we should put in. But if you do fill it up, and for some reason the humidity should change or get higher, and it starts to coagulate in here, that's a bad word, but if a bunch of, you know, if it doesn't come down, then you got a problem. So the less it's in there, the less weight's gonna be compacting that if the humidity's getting worse bad on you. And so that's kind of that rule of thumb. But if you know, experience is gonna tell you that this is only half full, then by all means, don't make it quite so tall. This is, you'll notice that this guy here is a little bit narrower, and this one's quite a bit wider. That gives it a little, the same angle actually as this, because that angle kind of worked out. But what had happened is I was experimenting with an automatic feeder, and it needed to be bigger to fit the pipe that was coming down here. That automatic feeder didn't work out, but that's how they got so wide and so big. So, yeah, things change. You gotta move with it. So the thing I will say about this machine is, I got friends that have machines like this, but they don't work. They just don't work for me. You have to find the proper angle. So at this angle, you're right, it don't work. At this angle, you're right, it don't work. But at that angle, it works fine. So they just don't want to doodle with it. You gotta doodle. You got to doodle. So I'm gonna square this up here. I lost my angle there. Alright, so that's that. You could try to cut them out with this, but it'll be messy. Yeah, and Arbor Freight will have these. You want to buy the most expensive pair you can afford, because a good set of shears is going to last you a long time. A not good pair of shears is not going to last very long. So you really, and it was a long time before I bought a decent pair of shears, and I'd have to buy a pair of shears almost every year. Now, I'll ask a question for you. Why are there different color shears? Well, they come red, green, and yellow. The red one, this guy here moves up, and so it pulls that up and kind of leaves this flat. And the other one does the opposite. See how they're opposite? And they say that the yellow one is straight, but I haven't really quite figured out how they call that straight.
You haven't doodled with it enough?
I haven't doodled with it enough. Well, it's got to be left or right. I don't know why they call it straight. So I cut all the right sides with the right one, and now I'm going to use the left one to cut all the left sides, and that keeps how this got bent up. It keeps the one you want to leave from getting bent up.
Makes
So
sense.
that's why like that.
Chicky Chick said, thank you. I hadn't thought about the humidity affecting the feed. Jesus says, hello, happy Sunday, everyone. And Justin says, you should get sponsored by Harbor Freight.
You know, I thought the very same thing. So
I think that's going to be on my to-do list this week.
it may be on your to-do list. And there is, I'll do one of these breaks. I'll do it how I would normally do it. One of these bends. They call the machine that you're bending a break, and I can even show you with some embarrassment the Arbor Freight one, which has a shear on it, a roller on it, and a brake. Pretty cool piece of machinery. And also is broken. Arbor Freight. So here goes my sponsor.
Dang it.
Dang it, that's a $1 million deal. All right, so we need to now bend these up. And we could walk over here for a second and I'll show you how I would normally do it. And then we'll do it how you might be able to do it. So this is a brake, it's an 8-foot brake. It's an old but goodie. And it's kind of fun to introduce you to these tools.
Adam says hello.
I'm just going to go right to the points there, clamp that thing down, move this thing up, and bam. So you can see how fast you need to be bending this thing up. And bam. I'll also, at this point, see I can do these two, but then I can't do the rest because you can't put that in there. That's why you have a pan brake, which is back there. You can adjust the fingers on that to reach, to the size that you're doing to bend it up. So if you were doing this, if I was building these, it would already be better. But yeah, I'm not building it, you are. So what you want to do is take and cut your piece of wood that fits in here. Like so. Uh-oh. It's not going to be long enough because of those tabs. And, there's woodworkers and there's metal workers, but I swear I don't know how you can do it without having both because, that metal worker is going to want a board cut to a length and so I don't know how they do it. I guess they'd use a piece of steel here instead of a board. So a C-clamp would work here, or any kind of clamp, but it does have to kind of reach over a little bit here. So, like so, like so. Kind of tired to be doing this. The brake sounds pretty good right now. I'm paying for that brake at this moment, whether I own it or not. And that's the only thing worse than not having a tool. Is having the tool and not using it. But for you folks, I'll do it. Alright, so that's that. Now, anybody want me to walk over to the pan brake? If so, say yes now, forever. Hold your peace. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no.
Remember, we'll be giving this feeder away for a drawing. I'll mention it tomorrow on our next video as far as what topic will be. All you have to do is just say hello or ask a question, and I will be writing down all your names and mentioning them tomorrow. I'll do the raffle tonight.
Or the first one that you can get me a sponsor with, Arbor Freight. If you win the thing.
Might even give you 2 of them.
Alright, so now we're going to bend this guy up. And as we bend this up, I'm going to make that cut just a little more pronounced. On hand, put it out. Alright, now bend this thing up. See how that's kind of lapping over here? See how that's lapping over? That is how we'll pop rivet that thing together. Boy, do I stink. Whew, long day.
Justin says the CEO of Harbor Freight Tool is Eric Schmidt. I'm trying to help.
Alright. So, see how that lapped over like that, nice, neat? That way we can pop rivet that together and be really nice and strong, whereas I would normally just weld that. Maybe I just been spending too much money on aluminum here, because that's really not a bad feel. Even George. Now, I'll move that back to this line. Line with this groovy here. So that's about all. Oh, can you set the parameters different on that, George?
Yeah.
It gets a little cold before it turns on. And we'll definitely have to do something with the humidity like we talked about. All right, so this guy here is going to be a little tricky knowing where to stop. I think we can just de-bend it if we have to. Because this is not a 90. But again, we're going to have a nice lap there that we could pop rivet, and that looks much better than the first one I did. Now, this guy here is already where we want it. So all we need to do is bend that guy up. And I'm just going to bend it to these guys close up. All the further I'm going to bend that. And that's that. That's that. So that's this part. And kind of fun how this thing magically turns into a three-dimensional project. When I was my first trip to the unemployment office, they had this test. They had all these shapes. And they said, this is the shape. What happens when you bend all that up? And they gave you a picture of what it would turn into once they bent it up. And at the end of the day, they said, you need to be a sheet metal. So, and the obstinate guy I am, I carpenter. But I really do enjoy laying these things out, figuring out how to make stuff, figuring out how they did make it, you know, how people, like, what's the name of that place, the Christian place? All the hobby stuff.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. They sell this stuff cheap. And I like to buy it just to figure out how they made it, you know, how they bent it up. Yikes, it's pretty fun. Never tried it. Got a lot of dust on it. Maybe someday when I get old. I don't know. When Zach lets me.
Wait a minute.
That would be nice. All right. Actually, I'll cut this one first, I think. There's a fine line of it wanting to work and it not wanting to work. My buddy Jimmy, he swears it doesn't work. I said, you're probably right, why don't you just give it to me? Alright. So we can take questions on other things if you got something you want to ask me. So this guy here is going to be a bend. I have little marks here that I've indicated on my template. You know, and of course you'd want to start with a piece of paper and just fold it up. You know, try your best shot and fold it up and see where you made your mistakes, and then, you know, make your corrections until you get something that you like. You have a computer program, why that would be pretty swell. If you design that, it'd be nice. I'm not saying I don't use them, I do. I actually have a CNC machine. I don't know where my line is. Here it is. Right there. I'm not very proficient at it, but I got friends that are, and that's nice. Lost it again.
There it is.
Is that it?
Yep, it's right there. Yep.
So, that's that piece. Now, this guy's coming to a close. I'm not going to pop rivet all this thing together for the sake of time, but we can show you what's happening here.
And while he's putting that together, just remember, we do have a video coming shortly of our new lockdown and how we built it. This morning, I came over with the camera. Jenna will edit it, but we did a whole video of how we put it all together. And then he did a couple other cool little inventions today and couple cool other projects. So if those work out well, then we're going to be doing those videos also. And then this feeder will be given away for free. All you have to do is just say hello or ask a question, or get us a contract with Harbor Freight, Justin.
And pay for shipping.
And yes, so you will pay for shipping, but it won't be very much. But we'll send this to you for free. And if you do have any other questions, because we will be closing it up once this is done, if you have any other questions right now, or if you have any suggestions on what other topics you want to see or talk about or learn about, we are more than happy to take those into consideration. That was the purpose, Justin. I was trying to put the pressure on you.
Yeah. I don't think I got that in the right spot. No, not really. I got it.
And now that you guys have kind of seen him and seen it happen, you guys are more than welcome to watch it again. I'll be posting this, and you can kind of make it while you're watching it kind of thing. But we really enjoy these feeders. We do only put enough in there for a half a day because we do feed them twice a day.
And of course, the reason we make this feeder like we do is so you don't have to get in the cage to feed the birds. This is outside the cage, the feeder is inside the cage. So I say that may have to be bigger for your purpose.
Right, depending on what cage you have.
Yeah, what kind of cage you got. So that's it, guys. That's how we made our feeders. Again, I usually use the brake. I weld them together. So we use a little bit heavier material. But if there's nothing wrong with this feeder, this would certainly work in a pinch. And if you get this feeder,
It's definitely a good sample, if anything.
you drill out these things, take it all apart, fold it down, and you got yourself a free pattern. So
There you go.
that's the truth of the matter. All right, we about done with that?
You good? All right, he's just riveting that side. Hey, Santiago, how are you doing? So again, if you want a chance to win this feeder, we will be shipping this out to a winner. I'll be doing a drawing tonight with anyone that commented on here on our live feed. And then tomorrow, remember, every Monday I will be posting a video on YouTube discussing what topic we'll be doing next week. It'll be at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. When I do that video tomorrow, I will also mention who the winner is getting this feeder. Hello, Scott. And since we'll be getting off here soon, please remember to watch our videos for our upcoming videos. We've got an upcoming video of how we built our brand new lockdown that looks absolutely fantastic. He's got a couple other things in the works that he tried out today. It looks really, really cool. So if those work out on water, then we'll show you how to build those also. And once I post this, you are more than welcome to give me any suggestions as far as topics you want to hear. We will take those in consideration. So thanks for watching, guys. Poppy, you got anything left?
And me? No. Ciao.
All right, guys. Thanks and have a great night.